Welcome back, everyone, and oh my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about. You are watching the Breakdown channel for From on Sneakro, and right now we are heading into Season 4, Episode 2, titled Fray, dropping this Sunday, April 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you thought Episode 1 left you shaking, buckle up, because Episode 2 is about to crack this town wide open in the worst possible way. We are talking a gruesome discovery that sends shockwaves through every single person trapped in Fromville. We are talking Jade and Tabitha drowning under the weight of a revelation so massive they cannot even speak it out loud yet. And we are talking about a town that was already fraying at the seams, and now something is pulling the thread. I'm going to break down everything you need to know before Sunday night. I'm going to walk you through the full sneak peek, tear apart the spoilers, give you my theories on what the gruesome discovery actually is, and tell you exactly why Episode 2 is where Season 4 shifts from terrifying to something much darker. Stay right here all the way to the end, because I have a theory about Jade and Tabitha's revelation that I have not seen anyone else talking about, and it changes everything about what this season is really building toward. If you are new here, welcome to the most chaotic, most brilliant horror mystery on television. Hit subscribe right now. Tap that notification bell, because every single week we go deeper into From than anyone else on this platform. This is the channel where the Fromily lives. Let us get into it. First, let us talk about where we are after Episode 1, because if you have not watched The Arrival yet, I need you to go watch it before we go any further. Go. Watch it. Come back. I will wait. Okay. For those of you who are caught up, Episode 1 did not ease us back in. It grabbed us by the collar and dragged us straight into the middle of the worst night Fromville has ever had. Jim Matthews is dead. The man in yellow ripped his throat open right at the end of Season 3, and the town does not even know yet. His family does not know. Julie and Ethan are walking around thinking their father is out in the RV or the shack waiting for morning. And Tabitha knows. Tabitha knows Jim is gone, and she is holding it together with everything she has because she cannot process Jim's death and the reincarnation revelation at the same time. Nobody can process both of those things at the same time. Let us talk about that revelation, because it is the engine of everything happening in Season 4. What Jade and Tabitha discovered at the bottle tree is one of the most significant pieces of lore this show has ever dropped. They are reincarnations. Not metaphorically, literally. Jade used to be Christopher. Tabitha used to be Miranda. They have been here before. In a previous cycle of the town's loop, they were a married couple whose child was sacrificed, connected to the very origins of whatever demonic force controls this place. And the children chanting Ankui, which means remember, were trying to trigger that memory in both of them, because Jade and Tabitha are the key. They have always been the key. Every time the loop resets, they come back, they find each other, and they try again to save the children. That is not just a plot twist. That is the mythology of this show revealing its skeleton for the first time. The town is not random. The trapping of these specific people is not random. Jade and Tabitha were selected, brought here on purpose, because whatever runs this place needs them to fail, or needs them to succeed, and we are still not entirely sure which one. Now drop a comment right now. Do you think the entity controlling the town wants Jade and Tabitha to succeed or to fail? Because I have been going back and forth on this all week, and I cannot land on a definitive answer. Drop your theory. Let us get that conversation going. And then right as we are absorbing all of this, the poltergeist hits Tabitha's house. Objects flying. That is not a coincidence. That is a message. The town, or whatever runs it, knows that Jade and Tabitha now know what they are. And it is reacting. Boyd is falling apart. One of the most painful things about Episode 1 is watching Harold Perrineau play Boyd at his lowest point in 4 seasons. This is a man who has held this town together through sheer willpower and force of leadership for years. And now something has broken in him. He is not just tired, he is unraveling. And Smiley is back, the creature they thought they had killed, reborn from Fatima's womb in one of the most disturbing sequences this show has ever produced. Boyd is staring at proof that nothing they have done so far has actually worked. Nothing sticks. Nothing stays dead. and that knowledge is destroying him from the inside. Meanwhile, new arrival Sophia and her pastor father have crashed into the police station and are now trapped. And Sophia, pay attention to this because it matters enormously for episode 2 and beyond. Sophia may be the man in yellow in a human form. The episode gave us enough visual and tonal clues to make that theory feel very credible. And if Sophia is connected to the man in yellow, her presence inside the town is not accidental. It is a move, a calculated placement of a piece on the board. Now, episode 2, Frey. Let us break down everything we know. The title tells you the emotional temperature of the episode before a single scene plays. Frey. Things coming apart. Edges unraveling. A situation that was already holding together by the thinnest possible thread, and now something pulls it. Something gruesome. Something that nobody in that town is ready for. Here is the sneak peek breakdown. The official summary gives us two things. A gruesome discovery that sends shockwaves through the town, and Jade and Tabitha struggling with the weight of their revelation. Those two things are connected. They have to be. The timing is not coincidental. Episode 2 puts both of these things in the same episode because one feeds the other. Let us start with the gruesome discovery. I am going to say it plainly. The overwhelming probability is that they find Jim's body. Think about what that means. Julie and Ethan went to sleep last night, believing their father is alive somewhere in the town waiting for the sun to come up. Tabitha knows the truth, but has been unable to say it. And now morning has come, and someone, maybe Boyd, maybe Kenny, maybe one of the kids, walks out into the woods or the area where the man in yellow attacked Jim, and they find what is left of him. That is a gruesome discovery. That is the kind of thing that sends shockwaves through a town that has already lost so many people and was clinging to the idea that their situation could still somehow be survived. Jim was not a perfect character. He was frustrating, stubborn, and difficult. But he was also the anchor of the Matthews family. And watching Julie and Ethan find out their father is dead, in a town with no way out, in a situation with no end in sight, that is going to be one of the most emotionally brutal scenes this show has produced. And where is Tabitha in that moment? That is the heart of episode 2 right there. Because Tabitha knew. She was protecting her children by not telling them, but she also was not running to find Jim, was not raising the alarm, was not doing the things a wife does when her husband is missing. And when that body is found, Julie is going to look at her mother and she is going to know. The tension between Tabitha and Julie that was already building in episode 1, the screaming match, Ethan telling them both to stop, is about to explode in the worst possible circumstances. And running underneath all of that is the revelation. Jade and Tabitha are sitting on the most important piece of information anyone has had in years about what this town actually is, and they cannot agree on what to do with it. Jade wants to tell people. He has always been the one who pushes for more information, who believes that understanding the town is the way out. Finding out he is a reincarnation of Christopher, that he and Tabitha are soulmates across multiple lifetimes, that they have done this before. For Jade, that is not a burden. That is a map. That is proof that there is a pattern, a design, and that somewhere in that design is a way to break it. Tabitha is not there yet. And here is what I think most people are underestimating about Tabitha's hesitation. She is not just afraid people will not believe her. She is afraid that the entity controlling the town is watching. That every time she and Jade get close to the truth in a previous cycle, they got stopped. Jim was the warning. Your wife should not have dug that hole. The man in yellow killed Jim as a direct response to how close Tabitha and Jade were getting. If Tabitha starts telling people what she knows, the next person the man in yellow comes for might be Julie, might be Ethan, and she cannot risk that. not after losing Jim. So episode 2 is Jade pushing, Tabitha pulling back. A gruesome discovery cracking the entire community apart at the exact moment Jade and Tabitha most need it to hold together so they can figure out what to do with their revelation. The timing is devastating and completely intentional. Like this video right now if you are already emotional about episode 2 and it has not even aired yet. Seriously, tap the like button. This community is everything and every like helps this breakdown reach every From fan who needs this before Sunday night. Now let me give you my deeper theory about what the revelation actually means for the rest of Season 4.
Because I think there is a layer to the Jade and Tabitha storyline that goes beyond what Episode 1 spelled out. And I think Episode 2 is going to start pulling on it. The children in this town keep saying, Ankui. Remember, they were trying to wake Jade and Tabitha up to what they are. But here's the question that is eating at me. What happened in the previous cycle? We know Jade and Christopher and Tabitha and Miranda were a couple. We know their child was sacrificed at the beginning of the town's existence. We know they have been reincarnated into this cycle to try again. But try what exactly? What is the specific thing they are supposed to do? Save the children. That is what the show is telling us on the surface. But I think it goes deeper. I think saving the children is the mechanism, not the goal. The real goal is breaking the loop itself, ending the cycle permanently. And I think the reason every previous version of Jade and Tabitha has failed is not because they were not smart enough or strong enough. It is because they always get to this point, the point of knowing what they are, and then they get separated, either by the entity or by the people around them, or by their own disagreement about what to do next. Episode 2 is the episode where that separation begins. The gruesome discovery, the community fracturing, the weight of the secret. All of it is designed to drive a wedge between Jade and Tabitha at the exact moment they need to be unified. That is the pattern. That is what has happened every time before. And if they cannot hold each other together through this episode, Season 4 is going to repeat the same tragic outcome that every previous cycle ended with. Now let me tell you about the other threads I am watching heading into Episode 2. Boyd. I am genuinely worried about Boyd in a way I have not been before. He is not just breaking down emotionally. Something is happening to him physically too. His health has been declining for a while, and this season is not treating him gently. Boyd watching Smiley come back from the dead after everything he sacrificed to try to protect this town, after all the impossible decisions he made, after torturing Elgin, and seeing that none of it worked? That is the kind of thing that collapses a person. Episode 2 is going to push Boyd further toward whatever edge he is approaching, and I am not sure anyone in the town is paying enough attention to catch him when he falls. Julie. Her storyline is the one I find most fascinating going forward. The story-walking ability she discovered last season, the ability to travel into a story but not change it, is about to get a lot more complicated. Because if this town is built on stories, if the mythology of this place is literally narrative in structure, then Julie is not just an observer. She might be the only one capable of actually understanding what story they are all living inside. Episode 2 starts her digging deeper into that ability, and I think Episode 3, Merrily We Go, is where that starts to produce answers that nobody is ready for. Sophia. I need you to keep your eyes on Sophia in Episode 2. She arrived in a car crash. Her father had what appeared to be a seizure. Both of those things mirror previous arrivals in the town, which the show has already flagged. But Sophia is different. Something about her is different. The way the man in yellow was positioned in Episode 1, the visual language around her arrival. I think the show is setting up a reveal about Sophia
that is going to reframe everything we think we know about the man in yellow, and whether that entity is singular or whether it moves between hosts. If Sophia is a vessel for something that was already in the town, then her presence at the clinic, around the kids, around Boyd and the others, is not a refugee situation. It is an infiltration. And that is the piece that nobody in the town knows going into episode 2. They are treating Sophia as a victim. They are treating the gruesome discovery as a crisis. They are treating Jade and Tabitha's silence as caution. Every single one of those things is actually a danger they cannot see because they do not have enough information. That is what Frey means. Not just things coming apart. Things coming apart because the people trying to hold them together are each holding one piece of the truth and refusing to share it with anyone else. Communication has always been the central failure of Fromville. And episode 2 is going to make that failure cost someone everything. Before I give you my final predictions for episode 2, I want to know where you are watching from. Drop your country in the comments right now and tell me your biggest theory for season 4. Are you in the United States watching Sneakro? Are you international watching Prime Video? Are you a longtime fan who has been here since season 1? Or did you just discover this show and binge all 3 seasons to catch up? Drop it below. This community is global, and I want to know who is in the room with us. Final predictions for From Season 4, Episode 2, Frey. Jim's body is found. It has to be. The gruesome discovery is almost certainly Jim Matthews, and it is going to be found in a way that is worse than just stumbling across him. I think there is something about how he died, or what the man in yellow left behind, that makes the discovery itself a message. Not just a body, a statement. A warning that the entity is watching and is capable of reaching inside the town at will, not just from the tree line at night. Julie finds out before Tabitha tells her. That is the gut punch of the episode. Tabitha loses control of the situation, and Julie discovers what happened to her father before her mother had the chance to soften the blow. That moment is going to be the most devastating scene of the episode, and possibly the most devastating scene of the season so far. Jade tries to tell someone about the revelation and gets stopped. Maybe by Tabitha. Maybe by circumstances. Maybe by the poltergeist activity ramping up again as a direct response to Jade opening his mouth. Whatever it is, the information does not get out in episode 2. It stays trapped between them. And that containment is exactly what the entity wants. Something happens with Sophia that changes how the town sees her. A behavior, a moment, something that makes at least one person, maybe Kenny, maybe Christy, maybe Boyd, start to wonder if this new arrival is exactly what she appears to be. Not enough to act on, just enough to plant the seed of doubt that will grow throughout the season. From Season 4, Episode 2, Frey, airs this Sunday, April 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern on MGM+. You can also watch it on Prime Video if you have MGM Plus as an add-on for $7.99 a month. There are 10 episodes in Season 4, with new episodes dropping weekly every Sunday through June 28th. And yes, the show has already been renewed for a 5th and final season, which means Season 4 is not the end. But it is going to answer things, big things. Things this show has been building since the very first episode in 2022. Stay with this community every single week. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Share this video with a From fan who needs to see this breakdown before Sunday. Drop your name and your country and your biggest theory in the comments below because I read every single one. This community is what makes covering this show worth every second of the work. I will see you after Frey drops Sunday night. Whatever comes out of those woods in episode 2, we watch it together. And whatever it costs these characters, we feel it together. That is what the Frumily does.